Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey with Clarita, the podcast where we will discuss valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Subscribe now to Begin, Build, Blossom, and let's embark on your business journey. Hello. Welcome back to our podcast, Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey. And it is season 2. So, welcome back to season 2. It feels so good to be back in front of the mic. I've actually missed this. And can you believe that? Let's see, January of this year, I didn't even own a mic. And here I am now missing the mic. I'm coming to you today feeling so refreshed and recharged because, as you may know, we just returned from a long summer getaway in none other than St. Lucia. We were in St. Lucia when Julian Alfred put St. Lucia on the map once again. She won St. Lucia's very first Olympic medal. And the second, we got gold and silver, just like we have two pitons. We got two Olympic medals. And Julian Alfred made us so proud. I was so glad that my daughter was there when this happened. She was there in St. Lucia when she found out that the fastest woman was from St. Lucia. Julian Alfred did something for me too that day. I got to see what perseverance brings you. She has been doing this for a long time and she's been doing the best she can and she's been doing amazing. And to get to that pinnacle, she is now known as the fastest woman in the world. She does it with such grace. I just love to see her. When I look at her, I just feel so much pride. And I know that all St. Lucians feel that way. And I hope that my daughter gets to meet Julian Alfred one day. So, anybody listening who knows Julian Alfred, tell her that my daughter would love to just say hi to her. We did say hi to her at the First National Bank. But of course, it was a cutout of her. But that was enough at the time. But would love to be able to say a real hello to her. Congrats to you. And thanks so much for doing a lot for us and for making us feel so proud. Back to our time in St. Lucia. We left in June and just got back in New York now in September. So, yeah, it was a whole summer in the Caribbean. Can you imagine? A little over 2 months of sunshine, ocean views, and living the island life. I think I've officially reset my entire body clock to island time. But what really made this trip special was sharing it with my 4-year-old daughter. It was amazing just watching her experience St. Lucia, my home, in such a deep and connected way. It was everything. For her, it wasn't just a vacation, it was a whole new adventure. She was totally in her element, from the beaches to the local culture. She fell head over heels for the ocean. I mean, I would ask this child, what do you want today? And seriously, without missing a beat, she'd say, Ocean, mama, ocean. I want to go to the ocean. She's so sweet. She says ocean. We said we want to go to the beach. She says, I want to go to the ocean. She spent her days playing in the sand, running around the playing field, soaking up the freedom that comes with being a kid in a place where the sky feels endless and the worries are non existent. It was truly magical. While there, she got to meet and play with cousins. She cooked with aunties. She especially loved homemade pizza and carrot and banana muffins. Actually, one of the best afternoons spent was in Auntie Dell's kitchen, baking and chatting it up. It's so wonderful to listen to family stories told with so much love and to hear the stories passed along to my daughter. I mean, the sense of connection you feel in those moments is just amazing. One other thing my daughter especially loved was looking for Grandpa Bram. She'd say, Mama, let's find Bram. Bram is my dad, and he's known for spending his days in the ocean. After all, he's a seamoss farmer. Anyway, whenever my daughter would want to meet up with Bram, she'd say, let's find Bram. We'd first check his home, and if he's not there, we were almost always certain that he'd be in the sea. So she'd say, let's go find Bram in the ocean. Of course, she knows if she finds Bram in the ocean, Bram would take her swimming on his back or would take her fishing on his canoe. They definitely had very beautiful moments together, and for that, I am really truly grateful. And let me tell you, our family and friends in St. Lucia, they welcomed us with such open arms. The warmth and the hospitality we experienced were just unmatched. Of course, it's not the first time that I've been back, but for my daughter, this is her second time going home. And every of these experiences just means something new for her. And it's magical. It's something special. This time around, this summer, she went to camp at the Labrie Library where Miss Julene and Miss Cindy treated her like one of their own. She learned so much about safety. I mean, they had, I remember a cop, a policeman, Mr. Monroe's. I'm not sure if we're related or not, but he came in and talked to them about safety and staying safe. And there were other professionals who came to speak with them as well. I thought it was a really good experience, and she really did learn a lot. She made a lot of new friends, and she had the time of her life. In Labrie, I mean, she would enjoy drawing in the sand, playing outside, and just being a kid. It was heartwarming to see her connect with other children and explore the world in such a carefree way. As a mom, that's exactly what I want for her, to feel that sense of freedom, to be in touch with her roots, and to fall in love with the world around her. I think we really achieved that this summer. And again, I am so grateful. Now, of course, this summer wasn't just about her. I had my own moments of reflection too. I've been living in the US for years now. Whew, it's been a while. And this was the longest time I'd spent back home since I left for college in 2006. Being in St. Lucia reminded me of my roots and how important it is to stay connected to where you come from, even as you're building life somewhere else. For me, this summer was a homecoming in more ways than one. There's just something about stepping away from your day to day hustle that gives you a new perspective on life. Especially as an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking about how I can provide the best life for my daughter. How can I possibly curate these amazing experiences for her while also growing my business? And this summer reminded me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's all about freedom. Freedom to live life on my own terms. Freedom to create these incredible memories. And freedom to build a future that's filled with joy, love, and adventure. To everyone who'd made this summer what it was, our family, our friends, and even the strangers who became friends, thank you. Thank you for the meals, the invites, the help with laundry, the different churches that we got to attend. Those were just so amazing. Thanks for being so amazing. We couldn't have done it without you. All right. Now let's talk about the podcast. We're kicking off season 2, and I couldn't be more excited. Before we dive into all the newness of it, I want to take a moment to reflect on season 1. What a ride it's been, right? Would you agree? Starting this podcast was such a huge step for me. It was a very huge step. It was something I had thought of doing for such a long time, and I finally got to do it. Thanks to Neil. Neil, our podcast producer, I shared so much with him about what I was trying to achieve, and he made it happen. He really worked with me. I know I've said thank you to Neil quite a bit, but I would like to say that again. I've shared before that entrepreneurship was something I felt called to do. There was this fire in me that I couldn't ignore. But honestly, the timing, though, well, that was a little bit questionable. I mean, let's think about it for a little bit. I was stepping into entrepreneurship, launching my own accounting practice, starting a podcast, and all while dealing with some major life changes. That part I never brought into the podcast before, but after this time in St. Lucia, I feel so renewed that I think maybe I can bring this in now. So what are those major life changes I'm talking about? I had become a first time mom that we talked about before, living through a pandemic. But one of the hardest parts of it all for me was that I was watching my marriage fall apart and I moved from one coast to the other. That was a lot. Talk about chaos. But here's the thing though, life doesn't always wait for the right moment. Sometimes we just have to take that leap. And that's what I did. Looking back though, I don't know how I kept it all together. I really don't. To be real, actually, I didn't always keep it together. And that's where burnout comes in. Burnout was a very real thing for me. I pushed through because that's what I do. But let me tell you, I was exhausted. This is why St. Lucia was such a big thing for me and my daughter. It was something we both really needed. And I think I know that many of you can relate to that feeling. You know when you're juggling a million things and just trying to keep your head above water. The truth is, burnout is a silent beast. It sneaks up on you. And before you know it, you're running on empty. Yep, that's what happens. I'll be honest though, one of the things that helped me during those tough times was this podcast. It became an outlet for me, a way to channel my energy into something I loved. And through it, I met so many incredible people. Guests who shared their stories, their wisdom, and their tips for navigating the craziness of life. At this point, I would also talk about just guests in general. It's been so amazing reaching out to people and to realize that people are ready to talk to you. People are beautiful. I have met the most amazing people, people that I've known for a long time and who are cheering me on, and they decided to come on here to have those discussions, to continue discussions we've had in the past. And people that I've never met before. And yet they give me their time, very valuable time. I will always say, I've always recognized how valuable time is. So I don't take it for granted. And there are people who they come on here and it's like we've known each other for a very long time. I mean, I think the one of the benefits of being the host is that you get to have even longer discussions with some people. So there have been times where we catch up, somebody I've known before, like we actually take time after the recording to just have a conversation with each other and just to catch up on life. And there are people that I didn't know before, and we get something that connects us, and we keep talking. It's been beautiful. And one of the recurring themes from last season was self care. And self care is important and is often neglected. Talking from experience, looking at myself here. So many of our guests talked about the importance of taking time for yourself, meditating, exercising, and just breathing, taking a breath. One guest, Shatsani, she even shared a meditation video that I've been using myself. And guess what? It really works. Sometimes all you need is 5 minutes of calm to reset your entire day. It's not always easy to get those 5 minutes, but when you do, it's really worth it. And another thing I'll say that's helped me in managing burnout, I would say delegation. Yes, friends, delegation is your best friend. We had guests like Adriana Leo, DJ Brainboy, and Randy Hughes, who all emphasize the power of focusing on what's important and letting go of the rest. Letting go is huge. It's very difficult. But when you do it, the sense of relief you feel is amazing. That advice actually really stuck with me. And one of the things I've done is I am now working with a virtual assistant. Thanks to a guest recommendation, I've connected with a virtual assistant and she recently started working with me. So there's a lot that we have to work through, but let me tell you, it's already been a game changer. Just being able to offload some of the smaller tasks has really freed up so much mental space for me to focus on the big picture. It's a good feeling. And speaking of big pictures, let's talk about coaching. It's something we've talked about in the past, but I think it's important to talk about it a little bit more, especially when it comes to dealing with burnout. If you've ever felt stuck, like you're spinning your wheels but not really getting anywhere, I can't recommend working with a coach enough. I have mentors for my business, but I also have a life coach who helps me organize my thoughts and prioritize what really matters. Those sessions that I've been having with my coach has been invaluable in helping me move forward with clarity and purpose. I cannot begin to tell you how important that is. At the end of the day, it's all about finding the right balance. A balance between work and life, between hustle and rest. And I'm still figuring that out. But I know that the more I invest in myself, the better I'll be as a leader, a mom, and a business owner. So as we jump into season two, I am so excited for what's to come. We have some incredible guests lined up, as we've mentioned before, and I can't wait to keep learning and growing with all of you. Thank you for being here with me on this journey. Together, we're building something amazing. Let's make season two the best one yet. Thanks for listening to this episode of Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey, a CME Accounting LLC podcast. Please subscribe and be on the lookout for our next episode. If you'd like to share any feedback with us, please email us at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com.